Good day. Let us discuss stress and coping. One common misconception about stress is that it should be minimized at all cost. That stress is bad. No? Yan yung ating negative connotation sa Filipino context. And in a larger perspective, hindi lang negative ang ating turing dapat sa stress. It challenges our comfort zone, no? Ito yung hindi tayo ready sa isang scenario and maaaring mag-gain tayo or mag-lose ng ating effort, time, no? At positively man siya or negatively, meron man siyang effect, rewarding effect or nakakadihado sa atin, ito ay part ng stress, no? By the end of this discussion, we will compare and contrast the two kinds of or types of stress, the eustress, the positive stress, the distress, the negative stress. We will also identify and understand various ways to cope with stress, even yung defense mechanisms na ating ginagamit. No? And we will also identify biopsychosocial uh, symptoms and even effects of stress. Stress is part of our reality. No? Stress is an everyday reality in life. Anything that makes us unpleasant is considered stress. It directly affects our psychological, our biological, our social well-being, no? Our development. It is normal reaction. It is normal reaction from unexpected events to help us avoid danger. Dito pumapasok yung fight, flight, and freeze response. So pag hindi usual sa atin yung scenario or yung experience, automatic siya ay nagiging nako-consider natin na stress. And as a response na ating biological, na ating brain is to shut down. Bagamat sa atin ay weakness natin yun, pero yun ay strength ng brain allowing us to stop and think what to do or what comes next na kinakarap itong stress na to. No? And the moment we experience stress, it tells us that we are alive, no? We continue growing, developing, no? We embrace realities in life, itong imperfections, itong challenges sa buhay because we make choices. Sabi nga ng existential philosophers, kung merong mga choice, kung tayo nakakaranas na anxiety, it is how we understand the word, the experience of anxiety. If we have this anxiety, nalilito tayo kung ano yung gagawin natin, nalilito tayo kung ano yung pipiliin natin, nalilito tayo kung ano yung mas appropriate, mas the best na ating gagawin sa mga choices na to. Ang sabi ng mga philosophers, the moment we have these choices, ginagaranti na tayo malayong pumili. Malaya tayong pumili. May choices. No? Ang masama ay wala tayong choices. Then, maaari tayo nasa martial law or wala tayong freedom na ina-exercise. So, sabi ni Soren Kierkegaard, it is not the reality na maaari nating mabago, that we can change. Pero yung understanding natin dun sa reality, how we will treat that reality, maaari natin yung mabago. So there are two types of stress, no? Distress and eustress. Eustress makes us feel motivated, focused when faced with the challenging experiences, no? And within our coping abilities. Yung distress results in anxiety, no? If we will compare, ang distress ay more on procrastination, no? Demotion. Samantalang eustress ay more on excitement. In terms of productivity, distress can lead to procrastination while eustress is a source of motivation. Overall, distress has a negative impact on performance. Pag sa trabaho ay demotion, o kaya mababa yung performance rate, no? Samantalang yung eustress naman, it acts as performance enhancer, no? Engage ka. Distress can be terrible impact, no? Can have a terrible impact on productivity, creativity, and mental health. Yung iba ay nauwi hindi lamang sa traumatic injury ng brain, at there are times yung ating distress ay umaabot siya sa biological. So commonly 2 weeks, if you're constantly under stress, you have these physical symptoms such as headaches, upset stomach, high blood pressure, chest pain, and problems with sex and sleep. It means, class, that according to studies and e-journals, sinasabi na ang stress, though ito ay mental health or sabihin natin intangible, malaking epekto nito sa physical health natin. And stress can also lead to emotional problems, no? Like depression, panic attacks, other forms of anxiety and worries, no? And gaya ng sabi ko kanina, no, yung fight, flight, freeze response, when we experience stress, no, it leads us to emotional problems, no? Cognitive din. Yung pag-iisip natin, the reason why if you will talk to a person who's broken, uh, gr- experience grief of a loved one, hindi sila nakapag-isip. And if you have the chance to talk to them what to do, or you allow them to choose options, they will tell you na ikaw na lang pumili, ikaw na yung mag-decide, no? Kasi nga gaya ng sabi natin, the brain shuts down naturally kapag nakaka-experience tayo ng stress. And when it comes to behavioral, nagbabago sila, no? Kung maingay, nagiging tahimik, yung tahimik, nagiging maingay, nagbabago din yung routine. Sa pagkain, it's either dumadami or umuunti yung kinakain, they're procrastinating, they think that they cannot do this responsibility, they cannot perform this task na routinely na nilang ginagawa, no? And there are times it will lead to substance abuse, no? Drinking, trying to forget the reality, legal drugs, even yung nail biting, fidgeting, pacing, trichotillomania, o kaya ay yung iba pang disorder, no? Maaari siyang maging onset. At iba pang tendencies ay bukod sa substance abuse ay yung overeating, gaya ng sabi natin kanina, gambling, spending too much time on nasa kwarto, nagmumukmok. Mapapansin din natin na isolation yung nandiyan, no? And they have the risk violence and having risky sex. Sa biological, itong heart diseases, cancer, lung ailments, obesity, pagkakamalimutin, no, premature deaths, and even diabetes. So to elaborate itong stress, no, ay lalo na yung negative stress, yung kinds ng negative stress, may tinatawag tayong acute, episodic, chronic, and post-traumatic stress. When we say acute, it is the most common type of stress. Ito yung stress na nag-occur frequently, and ito ay kalimitang nararanasan ng general population, no? Yung extremely busy, they're disorganized sa kanilang ginagawa, or worry, masyado nag-aalala, no? Yan yung usual na occurrences ng acute. Kapag sinabi nating episodic or episode, recurring siya, no? Maaring mag-occur sa first week, maaari siyang ma-occur sa third week, or ma-occur siya sa first week of the month, then second month, ay nag-occur ulit siya, no? Samantalang chronic, ito yung malala, no? Ito yung 6 months and up or above. Chronic stress is the serious condition which occurs when a stressful situation is prolonged and continuous. Kaya kapag tayo nasa stressful situation, alamin natin kung ano yung ginagawa nating mannerisms. Baka mamaya maging onset yun or panibago na namang lead sa disorder, no? Kung tayo halimbawa is nasa stressful situation, tayo nagagalit or meron tayong ginagawang mannerisms, be observant kasi maaari ito ay maging dahilan ng another recurring na disorder. So it causes severe physical and emotional symptoms. Samantala yung post-traumatic stress, ito yung failure to recover aftermath of a terrifying event, no? Witnessing a terrifying event. Could be threatening events such as military actions, no? Yung mga sundalo natin, natural disasters, death of a loved one, terrorist attacks, ito sa COVID, no? Yung mga nawala ng mahal sa buhay. Though tapos na yung event, tapos na yung military action, tapos na yung natural disaster, tapos na yung terrorist attack, hindi pa napoproseso yung stress. At ito ay napoprolong. At tawag dito ay post-traumatic stress. Proceed tayo sa coping, no? So, during the time of the pandemic in the normal, mapapansin natin napakarami nating coping skills or coping styles. At hindi maialis yung screen time natin. Mas maraming nag-spend ng time sa kanilang screen time. Yung iba naman ay physical activities like cycling, planting, yung iba ay sketching, yung iba ay working out, yung iba horticulture, playing indoor or outdoor activities. Yung nagstay naman sa kanilang computer ay ginagamit nila ay yung kanilang devices, no? Playing games, social media, online shopping, blogging, vlogging, content making, no? Even watching. Nasa sa atin 'to 'no, kung alin dito yung ating positive or negative. Kung if it increases productivity, then this is eustress, and positive coping yung ginagawa natin, styles 'no. Pero kung yung ating ginagawa ay entertainment at nauuwi siya sa pagbago ng ating nakasanayang gawi, nakakalimutan na natin yung iba nating ginagawa, then mali yung ginagawa nating coping style or coping mechanism. Dako tayo sa aggressive reaction. So, an aggressive behavior, itong displaced, no? Ibig sabihin, may aggression kang ginagawa, behavior, na dinadirect mo sa ibang tao, sa hayop, or sa ibang bagay yung galit na hindi naman sila kasangkot sa iyong pagkagalit, no? It is an aggressive behavior directed at a person or other target like pet, no, like things, like laptop or cell phone. That is not the source of aggressive, arousing provocation or frustration. Displace, hindi natin idinadirect dun sa concern, no? So any response made with an intent of harming some person or object, like hammering a buffering desktop, o kaya ay throwing your phone when you lose a game, or when your boss get mad, then when you went home, inaway mo iyong asawa, no? That is displaced aggression. Ang scapegoating naman is the act of blaming a person or group for something bad that has happened. Yung turo-turo system, no? Sa falas sa ito koke or YouTube, no? Instead na entertain mo yung problema, ikaw yung sole responsible doon sa nangyari. You will find or track trace other people para sila ang pagpasahan mo ng blame. No, that is scapegoating. So we are pointing accusing finger to an innocent classmate, teacher, or groupmate. No, that is scapegoating. Free-floating anger. When we say free-floating anger, people who are angry without knowing why express their anger in unhealthy and destructive ways. Konting trigger lang nung or joke, no? And then nagalit ka sobra, nagdabog ka, nagwala ka. That is free-floating anger. Nauwi siya sa poor anger management. Maliit lang yung sitwasyon or problema pero yung iyong response ay sobrang laki. That is free floating. Even aftermath or after mo gawin yun, magtataka ka saan nanggagaling yung iyong ginawang yun. No? That is free floating anger. So we continually become aggressively emotional or emotion every time you're reminded of the past issues. Ibig sabihin, hindi na-address. Suicide is the act of killing yourself or oneself most often as a result of depression or other mental illness. So it is a death caused by injuring oneself with the intent to die. Let's proceed with psychological defense mechanism. When we say denial, no, we ignore the reality of a situation to avoid anxiety. Ibig sabihin, pag denial, gaya ng ginagamit natin, merong isang issue, we deny na yun yung nangyari. We're trying to protect ourselves from an unpleasant reality by refusing to accept it or even believe it. No? We block external events no, to experience. Halimbawa ay smoking, no? Instead na pansinin natin yung nangyari sa atin, nag-smoke tayo, nagde-drink tayo, no? Hindi natin siya i-entertain. That is denial. Displacement, ito ay as also known as displaced aggression. A person redirects a negative emotion from its original source to a less threatening recipient. Yung halimbawa nga, pinagalitan ka ng boss pag-uwi mo, ah, ginawan mo ng hindi maganda yung iyong pet. Okay, inaway mo yung family members mo, no? So that is displacement. So it satisfies an impulse with a substitute object. Nandun yung galit, you need to release it and then nakahanap ka ng ibang tao or object. Rationalization, it attempts to find the reasons for behavior, especially yung sa atin, no? Ito yung controversial, no? Dahil we try to justify and explain a seemingly rational or logical manner to avoid true explanation. So huwag tayo malilito sa rationalization, intellectualization. When we say intellectualization, nandun yung reason and logic to avoid uncomfortable or anxiety-provoking emotion. Sinasabi natin na instead na i-entertain yung problema, na-stress ako, wag niyong kausapin. O kaya ay habitual or excessive absences. Maybe they're doing something and then we will try to intellectualize, I have this mental challenges, or I have this health issues, or I have this work I cannot study. No, that is intellectualization. So ang intellectualization is a type of rationalization, only to more intellectualized. No, we try to block confrontation with unconscious conflict, and it is associated with emotional stress. So we use abstraction, no thinking, abstract thinking to detach ourselves to feelings. No, we use excuses, no, as alternative reason to cover up facts and motives. That is intellectualization. Reaction formation. When you say reaction formation, a person unconsciously replaces an unwanted or anxiety-provoking impulse with its opposite, often expressed in exaggerated and showy way. Ito yung hiding his true feelings or desire by demonstrating and adopting the exact opposite feelings. Ibig sabihin, merong hindi favorable na gagawin, better to adopt the exact opposite feelings. Dito na yung nangyayari yung escape sour grapes, sweet lemons, no, okay lang yan. Hindi ako nakapasok sa university na yun. Meron naman mas mabuting university or mas magaling na university. Ay, okay lang, hindi ako nanalo kasi kung ako yun naman nanalo, baka maraming mangutang sa akin, no? That is reaction formation. Ang projection naman, we try to project our judgments, our feelings, our beta to other people. Kaya nga sabi ko, the moment we are angry, nandun yung awareness natin to be na alamin kung ano yung mga sinasabi natin, kung ano yung ginagawa natin kasi it tells us something na tungkol sa atin, no? We attribute unwanted traits, impulses to others, no? Parang sasabihin natin na ganito ka, no? Napaka-paranoid mo naman, maaring pino-project lang natin sa ibang tao, no? Regression. So individual copes with stressful or anxiety-provoking relationship, we are retreating to an earlier developmental stage. When we say regress, no? Instead na ikaw ay nasa adult ego, kung papuntahan natin si Burns, babalik tayo sa child ego. May reversion of the ego to an earlier stage of development. Halimbawa, ayan, baby tantrums, baby talk, nagta-tantrums tayo, o kaya sa family life, instead na i-address ng mag-asawa yung problem, yung wife or yung husband, uuwi na lang sa nanay niya. No, that is a regression. Repression or suppression, it is a conscious process of pushing unwanted anxiety-provoking thoughts, memories, emotion, fantasies, and desires out of awareness. Andyan yung reality, andyan yung painful memorable experiences, andyan yung unpleasant feelings, thoughts, emotions, actions. Consciously, ibinabaon mo siya para mawala sa iyong awareness. Maging unconscious man siya or preconscious, that is suppression, no? So about may shameful thoughts tayo, we push down into subconscious state of mind. Hindi totoo yung nangyari niyan, no? Sublimation. We rechannel or refocus one's energy to something more acceptable, productive activity. Halimbawa, uh, ikaw ay may pagkasadista. You play basketball aggressively and then grab the ball, even nakakasakit ka na ng iyong kapwa or kalaro, no? Nandun yung negative beta mo sa ibang scenario, then indulge with the particular game or activity na pwede mo siyang gawin. Halimbawa ay firing, no? Nandun yung anger mo and then you went to a firing establishment or shop. And then doon mo siya ginagawa. That is sublimation, no? So it is a similar to displacement, but takes place when we manage to displace our unacceptable emotion into behavior that is more constructive and socially acceptable. Yun nga, gaya ng baril, gaya ng basketball, no, nananakit naman. Pagdating naman sa fantasy, we channel an acceptable, attainable desire into imagination. Kung kanina yung reality, no, ngayon naman yung imagination. We substitute imaginary satisfaction for real one. Halimbawa ay pagiging social climbing, no? Halimbawa ay meron tayong problema, then we think of fantasy scenario, no? Yung parang hindi natin malabo siyang maging into real context pero ini-imagine natin na sana tayo gano'n na lang, no? There are times pag tayo nasa stressful situation, sana hindi na lang ako nabuhay. Sana hindi ikaw yung magulang ko. Sana hindi na lang ako dito pumasok, no? So nagiging nasa fantasy tayo, no? We are anesthetizing oneself by relieving present pain and anger. Nawawala tayo sa physical present, naging metaphysics tayo, metaphysical absent, no? In dealing with stress, we can use this advice, no? Galing kay Salandanan and Sadsad, no? We can avoid caffeine, alcohol, nicotine. Ito yung nagbabago ng ating chemical na meron sa body, lalo na considering yung mga hormones, no? At even yung blood pressure natin. We should indulge in physical activity kasi nga kapag tayo nasa stress or we experience stress, lagi tayong yung ating tendencies ay isolation, magkulong sa kwarto. No? We need to force ourselves or help other people to indulge in physical activity. If we need to rest, then get more sleep, at least 8 hours. No? We try to embrace a relaxation technique. We can use yoga, we can use meditation, we can use reflection, we can play meditative songs, no? Or religious songs. We can play musical songs, instrumental, no? And we need to talk to someone. The moment na we experience stress, whether family man siya or friends, kung family, then look for a friend, best friend you who can talk, no? Para i-open mo lahat. Or kung sa friends or classmates ang iyong problema, then talk to your family member, no? It's okay to keep stress diary. Lahat ng galit natin, hinanakit, isulat natin doon. If we want to burn the paper or crumple the paper, no, then do it. At least doon sa anecdotal natin or stress diary natin, nalalabas natin yung ating anger. And we can actually analyze the sentence constructions of our anger, no, doon sa pagsusulat. We can rewrite it gaya ko sa Facebook. Halimbawa, if I have this stressful situation or confrontation to a particular person, is said na sabihin ko sa taong, I will chat myself sa Facebook, no? And then after I express this rants, I will review my lines. Ay, siguro hindi ito dapat ko sabihin. Ito totoo to, no? It needs supporting facts. Ito hindi to tama. Ito personal ko lang na judgment sa kanya, no? We can also manage our time. Alam natin yung routine activity natin. Tignan natin kung nasusunod natin at kung hindi natin nasusunod, strive natin na ibalik dun sa routine na yon, no? There are times it's okay to say no. No, according to my co-teacher, saying no is one of the best and anointed words to say, no? Lalo na kung hindi natin kaya. And kung kaya natin, say yes, no? And rest it, rest if you are ill. So may self-healing tayo na kaya nating gawin, no? Kapag tayo ay nasa stressful situation.